Robin here on a gloomy Wednesday afternoon.
It's too gloomy out there.
A little bit rainy out there. However, checked the weather this morning and this weekend looks fairly awesome. So while it's gloomy now, it's going to be nice and green and sunny by the weekend. And Robin's come up with a nice little barbecue pack, which is just about perfect because it's time for some outdoor cooking.
Totally is. I mean, I think we just came off of the first long weekend in May that it didn't snow for once.
Oh, it was nice. It was actually nicer than they said it was going to be. I was a
Yeah.
little bit mad at that because I didn't plan on doing anything outside on Monday, and lo and behold, beautiful day. So
It was gorgeous this weekend.
it's kind of like the opposite of a long weekend normally is, where they say it's going to be nice and then it actually rains. But this weekend is going to be nice, and you've put together 6 really cool wines for $99, which is a pretty smoking deal. So tell us what you got.
Well, if you're going to be outside on the grill, you got to have some red wine to go along with it. So,
Absolutely.
fun little mixed pack. We've got some Tempranillo from Spain, because that's always a fun one. Always what I love to pair up with ribs when I'm barbecuing.
Yeah, spicy little wine.
Little Southern Italian gem, the Mercato.
Popular.
Jeff Carell, always a fan favorite around here. We've got the
Yeah,
Bistro
the
Lagi.
bistro's fun, right? Like, the idea with that wine was kind of cool. What he did was he wanted to put out a wine that wasn't too heavy, but something like typical, right? So the idea and why you call it bistrology was a wine that you would get in a French bistro. Because if you roll into a bistro in France and just order a glass of house wine, it's not going to be like some big thumping heavy red. It's usually going to be something light and fresh and kind of fun that goes with food. So that's the idea there.
Totally.
Well,
Heartland
Heartland.
Stickleback. I mean, you can't really go wrong. Always the
Classic.
staple. Some Malbec from Argentina, the
Yeah, new one. All right, I like that one.
And this guy. Have you had this in a while?
The Negli, I haven't had the new vintage, the
It's
Bone.
awesome.
I've always loved that wine. Is it still Senso based? It used to
Mourvedre.
be. Mourvedre. Okay, so they changed it a little bit because I know
Yeah.
this one changes a little bit. So Mourvedre, it's going to be a little spicier, I guess, this vintage then. 'Cause it used to be
Totally.
kind of light on its feet and a little bit more ethereal. What's this one all about?
No, it's definitely got a little more weight and gusto to it. Can stand
Awesome.
up to that steak if you're going to do that on the grill. That'd be a great option. So
Cool. I like Mourvedre. It's a grape we don't see enough of. It's kind of a tricky grape to work with, so we usually see more Grenache and Syrah out of the south, but I like that kind of spicy raspberry style. So there you go. 6 cool wines for $99, and you can get those delivered for free anywhere in the city, anytime, all weekend long. And then we got the Domaine Girards this week too.
I know another couple of favorites.
Love these wines. We have,
I think for the Chardonnay, it's unoaked, right?
yeah, it's always that like really hard to find style, because in French Chardonnay you either have Burgundy, which is pretty expensive, so you get your your Pouilly-Fuissé, your Bourgogne Blanc, or your your sort of Meursault. It's going to be pricey. And then you get the Chardonnays from kind of the south of France, which are like less exciting, right? Because they come from the hotter parts of France where you don't really have that nice sort of crisp, fresh character. So we were really excited when we found Domaine Girard because it really bridges those two things together. So they're from a little area called Malpère, which is close to Limoux. And Limoux is actually famous for sparkling wine. So we're really in cool country here, which is kind of unusual, because when we think of the south of France, we think of like sunshine and heat, but they're tucked away in the southwest corner of the Languedoc, right in the foothills of the Pyrenees. So you're actually at really high altitude, which allows these guys to do what they do, which is make really clean, fresh, sort of crisp examples. And I drink a lot of this Chardonnay at home.
This is so good.
Doesn't have any oak on it. It's exactly what you want to drink. It's like bright, almost tricky into thinking maybe it's Chablis or maybe a slightly
Totally.
warmer vintage.
It's got that crisp, like green apple and citrus thing going
Yeah.
on.
I just really smell like when you cut into a Macintosh apple and you get the skin. That's exactly what this wine smells like, and I love it.
And I think people get scared of Chardonnay a little bit sometimes too, but this really crisp and fresh style is super approachable.
Yeah, and this is that style you want most days, right? Like if you don't want the big heavy oak and you don't want that real razor sharp style, it's kind of like right in the middle. So great wine. It's a family winery. How long have they been there?
Fifth
a while.
generation.
They've been there a minute. 5th generation. It's
Just
a
a
long
couple
time.
years.
And it's a couple of brothers that I see when I go to the winery that are always there. Really super nice guys. It's a small operation, and I always think at these price points, because this is like sub $25.
Totally, $23.95 on the shelf.
Nice. So that's a hard price point to find, I think, for French Chardonnays that aren't just coming out of the the big Languedoc, sort of the warmer climates that are less interesting. And this is really a family winery and they do Pinot Noir as well, which is awesome because that's even harder to find. With Pinot, we really searched long and hard to try to find interesting examples in this price range, but it's tricky. Most of the California ones in this range are going to be from big, massive producers. They're going to be the sweeter styles. The Australian ones, typically, again, they're hotter, richer, fatter, and the French ones are just, they're hard to find, and they're, sadly more expensive. So
and
it's a
even
bit of
in
a
the
unicorn.
south, it is usually a little bit hotter, so having that higher altitude for sure makes a big difference in keeping it fresh.
Yeah, and this one doesn't smell like a lot of the Pinot you get from down there. Just kind of smells like kind of caramelized because just too much heat on it. Pinot Noir is a thin-skinned grape. It doesn't love a lot of sunshine, so you really have to find little pockets where it's happy. And this vineyard really, it sits really high. It's kind of foggy. It doesn't get crazy hot. Kind of like 30, 32 is as hot as it gets there, and it just kind of gives it that nice, like, long ripening season that Pinot likes. And every time I drink this wine, I'm always blown away.
Oh no, it's been a little while since I've revisited this. I could totally drink this. Just sit down and enjoy it.
Drink this tonight. I think this one's coming home with me. Since we can't sample wine right now, it's got to go somewhere, right? Wow, I love that.
And really food friendly too. Like this would go with a number of different styles of cuisine that you're going to be cooking.
Yeah, I mean, the Chard goes with anything from like salmon, pork, chicken. Pinot Noir, kind of the same thing. You can do something a little spicier. You can throw something off the barbecue. Grilled salmon for sure would be awesome. So a couple of good options and a great 6-pack of barbecue wine. So hopefully the weather's going to pick up, and we will see you on the weekend. And we have some new hours to talk about.
We do. So we're actually open today. We're here.
It's Wednesday and we're open, which we're not normally open.
Not normally open.
If you want to pop in on Wednesday and say hi, it's a little less crowded in here on Wednesday, so we'd love to see you. So you can get to us now Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You got it.
Hope to see you on the weekend.